Just walk us through coming here to Nevada. I guess what appealed to you when you were in the transfer portal and making a decision?
So basically, my recruitment was different. Like this portal was pretty crazy. Everything was fast. Coach Payam hit me on Twitter. We talked for like 12 hours. Next day, I was on a flight here to Nevada, and I just enjoyed my visit here. Like getting to know the stuff he runs, like on the D line, and basically that just brought me here.
Had they recruited you at all before?
No, I mean, no. I never thought, personally, I never thought I'd be here on the West Coast, like, cause I'm from the Midwest, I'm from Illinois. But just coming here on my visit, Coach Payam, the coaching staff, Coach Choate, everyone was just good to me, so I just felt like it was home, so I canceled my other visits.
Okay, what else were you looking at? What other schools?
Sam Houston, Coastal Carolina, a couple other schools.
Getting to the FBS level, I guess, what does that mean to you after 3 years in the FCS?
I just think it's a big jump, but like playing Missouri Valley, they were a good conference too. That's where North Dakota State's coming in from, so I feel like I'm prepared for that and just ready to go.
What about Nevada appealed to you when you were out here on your visit to make you make that decision and cancel your other visits?
I will say the outdoor was definitely nice, like just seeing how the mountains are. It's a lot different from other schools, so I feel like that got me here.
Had you been out on the West Coast at all?
No, this is my first time. My first time was January coming here on my visit, so yeah.
How have you enjoyed it thus far?
So far, so good. Definitely still want to go see Tahoe. I haven't gone yet, but yeah, definitely.
How do you feel like you fit into this defense? What do you hope to bring the Wolfpack this year?
Definitely feel like I fit well. They had a previous player here who's kind of similar to me. He did a good job last year, so just kind of trying to fit that role in and just be my own player too.
Is that Maldonado?
Yeah, Maldonado for sure. Yeah.
Did you go back and look at what he did at all?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he's a hell of a player. I watched him before I came on my visit, and he did a good job. So just trying to help bring that more to his team.
What would you say are kind of your strengths on the field? What do you like to do most?
I'll definitely say my football IQ is definitely pretty up there. I feel like I played offense growing up, so I was a tight end, played receiver as well. So I feel like knowing that side of the ball helps me on defense.
When did you make the change over to defense, like full time?
So it was going into my freshman year spring ball. My coach was like, "You're too athletic not to be on the field," and we had like 3 other guys who were coming back playing the tight end position, so made that switch to DN.
So just a couple years ago.
Yeah.
What have you enjoyed about playing defense?
Definitely just hitting someone instead of getting hit. I feel like that's way different. You definitely enjoyed doing that more. So yeah.
Is that something you did a lot when you were in high school?
No, high school I didn't play both ways. So my first time playing DN was in college.
I guess that's a pretty big learning curve to be able to figure out how to play defense when you're in college. I guess what are the areas you feel like you've grown the most since you made that transition?
Definitely feel like just pass rushing, like trying to grow my pass rush. And the good thing about it is I learned all good habits coming here, like learned good habits in college, not high school learning bad habits, and then I feel like it helped me grow into a good player, so yeah.
These practices probably mean more to you than anybody than just getting experience on it. I guess where have you grown so much so far in spring, and what are you learning about this defense you guys are going?
Yeah, definitely playing more off ball, doing a lot, being versatile. I feel like just growing my football knowledge and stuff like that. Like I was able to get help from Dylan, other DN All-American, getting help from him, getting Miles to help me, and the other D-line just helping me as well.
You have goals for this year? I guess what would they be?
As a team or personally? Personally, like my goal is to get 10 sacks. You get a sack a game, like that can help you be an All-American and all that. And personally, I want to win the Mountain West Championship. So yeah.
How many times did you play against North Dakota State when you were over?
I played them one time. We played them at home. So this time I'll be able to go over to their place, Fargo Dome. Get after it.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
How did you end up at Indiana State?
It was a camp. I seen them at like a North Central camp, a mega camp. They invited me over, visit. Had a couple other offers, but just decided to go there.
Yeah. Learning from Dylan, I guess, how has he kind of helped you? I know he's kind of a quieter guy, but
yeah,
the effort and the stats speak for themselves.
For sure. Coach P told me Dylan was a quiet guy. He told me he's reserved. He told me down my visit, but just since I came here, he's been like a brother to me. He's been helping me grow. I kind of knew stuff already before coming in spring ball just because of him. He was showing me the footwork. Everything is different from coming from my previous school. So I just feel like he helped me grow a lot in that area.
Well, just defensive line in general, I guess what's your favorite thing about working with these guys?
Just like Coach P says, building rod. Like I feel like that rod off the field helps us on the field tremendously. So I feel like definitely just growing together and having that chemistry, because we need all 4 guys to get to the quarterback. So that definitely helps.
I know a lot of guys have high hopes for Miles as well. I guess what have you learned about him just playing with him and going through the drills with him together?
Yeah, Miles is a smart guy. Like he knows a lot about football. Like different ways to like just beat the blocker and just get around. So yeah.
Just tell us how this spring camp might be a little bit different for you now, 3rd year in the program.
3rd year in the program, I'm really stepping into my role more. Trying to get that starting spot right now when our players just went down. So, you know what I'm saying, I'm just trying to step up and be a leader that I can be.
How have you grown during your time here in Nevada as a player and as a person?
As a person, when I got here, you know, I met Coach Cho, and he has a good leadership role. So I do a lot with what he says, and I see how he is like towards his family, towards his kids and stuff like that. So that's me as a man and as a player playing for Coach P. When I first got here, like coming from high school, I didn't know exactly how like the D-line, like all the technique stuff, but the way Coach P teaches it, I peeped every single step matters, and I noticed that every single little hand movement, it means something.
So redshirt your first year, played considerably your last year. I guess what are the goals for this year in terms of what you want to do from a productivity standpoint individually?
Individually, I looked at the stats that we had last year as for the D tackles, and I would like to double any single starter that any stats they had. I would like to double that for myself, and any like team goals we have is to be the best in the West. You know, as a defense, get as many takeaways as possible, win as many games as possible, and just win the Mountain West, honestly. You
mentioned the takeaways. I mean, defense was pretty solid last year, but maybe the takeaway number not where you guys wanted. I guess what steps are you guys taking to create more turnovers?
I don't know how many we had last year. No, I played quite a bit of last year, but this year, I mean, Coach Ione always harps on taking the ball away. You know, so this year, I mean, we're going to focus more on it, and we're going to get the job done. We have a way talented group, and we're going to get the job done.
What was your kind of focus this offseason to hit those goals that you mentioned and to kind of double in the highest interior defense?
Myself, I lifted with Dylan. So you guys know him from last year, real standout guy, real leader. And from talking to Los Scalzo, he told me I lifted with Dylan, and it brought me up a tier. So I can't remember who I was lifting with the first winter here, but over the offseason when I lifted with him in Logo, it brought me up a lot, and I worked way harder this year. So and I'm seeing it on the field as well.
What's it like lifting with Dylan?
I mean, it's hard. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's hard. He pushes you. He making sure you don't skip a rep. You're not gonna skip a rep around him. So, he's watching you every step. We were the last one's done almost every time because we're really getting it in, putting real weight on the bar, getting every single rep. So, it's a good experience. It's a great experience for sure. But what I'm saying, you're not gonna like it every day, but you got to come ready to work.
Just tell us about the line in general. I mean, you guys do return quite a few players. Obviously, you lost Jonathan, you lost Whitty. What do you like about the group?
Yeah, losing John and losing Whitty means something, but with the group we have now, Tanner played last year, Tanner Vaughn, and Logo did too. I didn't play as much. I played a little bit, but I think we're more skilled, to be honest. We're more skilled, and we are kind of closer as a group, so we have more chemistry, and we're still building that as well.
Who's kind of standing out in your eyes alongside, yourself and Dylan?
Besides me and Dylan, Tanner and Logo, and for like new transfers, probably Brandon. Brandon is doing pretty good. You know what I'm saying? He's understanding all the calls. We talk on the field a lot, and we still build chemistry. I see him outside of practice all the time, so I'd probably say him. Him and a young guy, Cam Brown. Okay. You know what I'm saying? He really getting to it.
What was your confidence level this year, maybe compared to going into 2025?
Confidence level, last year, I was confident still, but I'm even more confident now because I got even bigger, stronger, faster. So it's at an all-time high, honestly.
Is there like a weight you hit or a time that you ran that kind of showed you that you're physically in a better spot?
Yeah, weighing like 290 pounds, hitting 19 miles per hour as a max speed. When I seen that chart that Coach P showed me, I never had no high ego or anything like that, but it makes me feel better about myself a lot and makes me know that I can always get the job done.
How heavy did you come here when you came out of?
Can you say it one more time?
How heavy were you when you came here out of high school?
I think all right. So when I was on my visit here, I think I was 292, but I dropped. It was like bad weight though, so I dropped down. And when I first got here, I was like 270, I believe, and I picked up the weight like in like more muscle. So all my speed numbers went up, all the numbers in the weight room went up, and yeah.
When people look at this defense, what do you want them to think?
Fast and physical, and we're gonna get the ball out. And we're not gonna, you know what I'm saying, allow people to score. They get in that red zone. It's 3-0 mentality for us.
You've kind of stuck with the program through some tough times. I guess just walk us through your off season and wanting to stay here for a third year and then pushing to gain more.
I believe in what Coach Cho has planned for us. First year didn't really go as well. Last year didn't either, but you know what I'm saying, talking to Coach Cho near my exit interview, I believe in the way he's taking us and the path that he has us on. So I believe he's taking all the right steps, and we're gonna get what we have to do done.
What makes you super optimistic that this year will be different than the last couple?
To be honest, I think like I feel like we have more skill. I don't really not explain it, and we do more events with each other. So us doing team bonding events, it really does mean something. And the team, like, we love to be around each other and we love to play as a team and play with each other. So.
Just getting Dylan to come back, I guess what that mean for your group and then for the defense?
Getting Dylan to come back was a big deal, I think, not only for the defensive line, the defense, but I think for our program in general. I think, in the day and age of what you see happening in the sport of football, a young man like that who's had the success he's had and most likely had the opportunity to move on, choosing to come back, I think that speaks volumes of, first off, him and who he is, how he was brought up, but I also think it speaks volumes of what Coach Cho is doing here as a program, and that being something that shows value enough for a young man to say, you know what, this is where home is regardless.
We just talked to David. He said he joined Dylan's lifting group, and that's really made an impression on him. So I guess, how does he maybe power Dylan, the group, despite not being super vocal maybe?
By example, right? You can either lead vocally, you can lead by example, in how you move about as an individual. I think Dylan he epitomizes servant leadership. Like, he's going to jump in there and do it with you, and because he has cachet of performing the way he has, if you're serious about doing well in this game, you're going to want to follow in his footsteps. So I think it's incumbent of all the young guys to say, why is he successful? What is he doing that makes him that way? And how can I reciprocate that in my world? And David has done a good job of that.
You look at your other edge, you've got Miles, you've got Brandon, Cam Brown. I guess what's kind of standing out among those guys who are kind of fighting for that other spot?
They're progressing. Like, they each have their own path that they're trying to navigate, right? Cam's a young guy who's trying to desensitize himself to the 11-on-11 environment. Miles clearly has plenty of experience, but he is trying to earn a starting spot and keep that starting spot, and at the same time be a leader because of all his experience. And I think Brandon's doing a good job assimilating to the FBS level coming from an FCS school. I think they're all going to help us. They all have a role. They all understand what the two edge positions are capable of doing, and from an output production standpoint. So I think it's easier to coach that. It's easier to coach a position when you're able to use real life examples of, hey, if you do it right, this is the type of production you can have. And I think that goes a long way for all four of those guys.
You look at your interior line, I guess, just your thoughts on the personnel you guys are working with there.
I think they're doing well. I know it's, losing Thomas Whitty, who played, almost 1,200 plays in 2 years, right? It may not be someone who carries that same load as Thomas did, as Nelson Ropati did, but I do think the collection of Lungo and Tanner and David and Bryce and Hemphill, I think all those, Jacobus is another one, all those collectively can give us the rep count that produces the production. Our production wasn't as great last year interior-wise. It was better than the year before, but it's not where it's needed to be. So enhancing that part of it and maybe not having higher rep counts will keep guys fresher and keep them working at a higher pace for a minimal amount of plays. But I'm really happy with how the inside's coming along too.
What do you guys need from the defensive line this year to meet your goals as a defense and as a team?
Well, I think the floor is last year's production, right? You had 17 tackles for loss on one side. You had 16 tackles for loss between John and Sam on the other side. Interior-wise, you had 5 tackles for loss, minus yard plays. So that's the floor. That's the minimum right there. So that has to be met, and then we have to go above that. There's a lot of proof in the data that says the more minus yard plays you have, the greater chance you're going to have for ball disruption, and that's going to lead to things like interceptions downfield because of errant passes. It's going to lead to fumbles. It's going to lead to turnovers in general, and that is a big deal. And that helps on the run game as well, making sure that someone just can't run the ball on us.
Yeah. Is there any major changes you guys are doing entering this year, or any like big focal points, or is it kind of?
No, I mean for us as a defensive line is trying to again elevate our practice habits to match what we want to do in a game. There's this, I don't know if it's generational or I don't know. I think everything is generational because of my age, but the idea that you're just going to walk out on a Saturday and perform a certain way. I think it's false. It's false confidence that you're giving yourself. You have to practice how you want to play on Saturdays, and I think that's something that we're trying to do better at. And practice harder, but practice according to the tempo and according to how I'm going to learn and better myself, and then ultimately play that hard in a game. It's a combative position. It's a martial position. You're going to have contact every single play. There's no avoiding it. So you have to be mentally tough, and you have to be able to understand what that is. And that practice during the week is what sets you up for that on Saturday.
You're one of the OGs on the staff. Has it been hard being patient? Maybe you guys thought this rebuild would go a little bit quicker, but now going into season 3, I guess how have you kind of dealt with that personally?
I think unequivocally, there's not a doubt in my mind about what Coach Cho is doing. Hands down, there's no rip in that fabric. Absolutely, everyone's hanging on to the rope just as strong as we got here. It's the landscape of college football, quite honestly, that changes, right? You talk about defensive line specifically, right? Whether you talk about Machiavelli leaving, whether you talk about Maldonado leaving, like we've had good players that have left for better options, and that's fine, but that's not typical of what the game was. And keeping those guys, you never know what would have happened or what could have happened from year 1 to year 2 and now year 3. So I think some of that is indicative of the environment and the ever-changing environment around us. But I think one thing that you'll find if you are in a bug in the wall in our staff room is that there is absolutely no wavering on what we're about and who we're about and how we're going to accomplish this.
When people see your defensive line, what do you want them to say? Opposing teams.
First thing out of their mouth is they play hard. Like if you were an alien and fell out of the sky and fell into a football game and watching it in the stands, the first thing out of your mind, if you didn't know anything about what you're watching, is that group plays harder than anyone else, and that is ultimately what I'm tasked to do.
Do you feel like you guys hit that mark last year, or is there?
I think there was times, but it didn't sustain itself for a course of a game. It just didn't, and we had opportunities to close out some games where we could have done better as a defensive line to stop the drive that was eating up the clock, and we faltered, and we not because we weren't trying. But we have to be able to just have this mindset that I stop this play right now. And furthermore, I hope they come at me as an individual, right? So I can stop this play. Like I want that confidence in our players individually so it happens collectively.
What's your favorite thing about this group of guys that you've been working with in the spring?
They all care about each other. There's a deep sense of camaraderie, and I do appreciate that because they're working to elevate everyone's position on the group, and I do think we are learning how to play harder on a consistent level.